Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video of mine, and today, we're doing another Rise of the Guardians theory, so let's get into it. Now guys, you know I love Rise of the Guardians a lot more than some other things, but one of the main things Rise of the Guardians fans don't acknowledge is underrated characters. One of those underrated characters is Toothiana, the main female guardian of the movie Rise of the Guardians, and, well, the Tooth Fairy. Besides having one of the saddest backstories in the entire series, if you've read the books, you'll know what I mean, she's not very talked about as much as the other Guardians, which I really find to be a shame. So I tried to find something that maybe no one knows about her. Maybe something everyone's overlooked. And wouldn't you know it, I found this. Now, if that scene doesn't look familiar to you, that's because it's the mid-credits scene of the movie Rise of the Guardians, and in it, a very strange thing happens. Five of Tooth's fairies, lift up one boy, one of Jamie's friends, named Monty, all the way back to his bed. This is weird, right? Literally, there are 5 hummingbirds lifting a 10-year-old. How does that even happen? So I did some digging, and I found some things that really no one talks about. I've never seen anyone talk about this, but it seemed so cool to me that I really should just share it with everyone. And it's actually already been confirmed by William Joyce, yet no one talks about it. So that's why I'm going to talk about it here today. Tooth's hidden power. Or at the very least, her mini Tooth's power, alright? So first I had to start out with finding out just how heavy was Monty. And thankfully, due to the ideal weight calculator, all I needed to know was how old he was, what gender he was, and how tall he was. Of course I knew what gender he was, and I knew how old he was. But finding out how tall he was, that was a real tricky question. But thankfully, thanks to these images that are popping up on your screen right now, or maybe just one image, I don't know what's happening right now with editor me, you will see that using Jack's staff as a reference, I can find the heights of every single Rise of the Guardians character. And if you're curious, Jack's height is 5'9", North is about 7'2", Bunny is 6'1", Tooth is 5'1", and Sandy is about 3'11". So when I put all those components into the ideal weight calculator, I was able to find out that Monty's ideal weight was anywhere from 20.8 kilograms to 28.5 kilograms. Okay, so now how tall are the mini fairies? Well, using this image right here, I was able to find out that Baby Tooth is about 6 centimeters tall, roughly about the same height as the bee hummingbird, the smallest living bird known to man. And female bee hummingbirds weigh about 2.6 grams. So, doing the calculation of 20,800 grams for Monty's weight, 2.6 grams for a Baby Tooth's weight, divided by 5 because, well, the weight was split equally, I'm guessing, among the 5 mini fairies, we come to the grand total of the mini fairies lifting about 1,600 times their body weight. And I just want everyone to note, I'm using the lowest possible estimates here because this is the bare minimum of what their strength is. On the high end of what it could possibly be, the mini fairies could be lifting well over 2,100 times their own weight. But I want to go for what's a worst case scenario, which is 1,600 times their own weight. So, is this even possible? Is there any example of animals in the wild actually lifting this much weight heavier than themselves? Well, it turns out, yes, and it comes from a place you would probably expect. Ants. According to ants.com, an ant's neck can actually hold up to 5,000 times the ant's body weight, and it makes the Baby Tooth's feat of lifting 1,600 times their own body weight seem kinda weak by comparison. I'm not saying they're weak at all, I'm just saying that it's a very plausible that this could happen. But what does this mean for Tooth? If the mini fairies are supposed to be just that, mini fairies, or exact copies of her, does this mean Tooth has super strength too? I think the answer is yes, because it's already been confirmed by the creator. Then all the fairy-sized selves merged back into a single being. Toothiana was mystified by her new powers,
but she did not think on it. With one hand, she grabbed the Monkey King by the throat. It was as if she now had the strength of a dozen.
And yes, I know it's said that she only had the strength of a dozen people, but I think that's just what she was feeling, not actually what was happening to her. And honestly, I am so excited that my theory actually got proved correct, that her strength multiplied from when she was little, because when she was little, it was her strength that caused her parents to die. Take this quote from the book.
Toothiana flickered back and forth, hovering over her mother and father, reaching for them, but she did not have the strength to lift them up over the angry mob.
So let's go to the big question. How much can Tooth actually lift? Well, using the ideal weight calculator from before, and estimating that she's about the physical age of about 18, we can estimate that she weighs anywhere from 42 kilograms to 61.7 kilograms. Well, using the lowest weight estimate with the lowest strength to weight estimate, we can find out that she could actually weigh at least 147 200 pounds. That is an insane number. Here, but let me give you some context. The male African bush elephant is the world's largest terrestrial animal, and it can weigh up to about 12,000 pounds. Tooth can lift 11 times more than that. That is amazing. Like, can you imagine lifting 11 elephants over your head? All this is to say, no Rise of the Guardians character should be underrated. They're all great. They're all amazing. They all have their own lore, their own secrets, their own powers, and I can't wait to dive into every single one of them. Well, most of them. But what do you guys think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you still think I'm crazy? Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment what you think down below, and until next time, which is definitely not tomorrow, goodbye.